It's often said that it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. But it's hard to keep money, right? One day you have like 300 bucks in your bank, and the next you have nothing and you owe 200 bucks on your credit card. So today I'm going to be going over 5 tips that will help you save more money. What's going on, guys? It's Nick from Mindful Mastery, and today I'm here to help you master your wallet. And this is going to be the first video of a 2-part video mini series where I'm talking about money, and then the next one I'll be talking about how to get rich. And if you're interested in that, then it'll be out next week. And with that, let's get into the video. Tip number 1, budgeting. Now, you've probably heard about this before, but that's because budgeting is so effective whenever it comes to saving money. Just think about it this way. You might know that you have a problem whenever it comes to getting fast food, but you don't know how much you actually spend on getting fast food. But whenever you start budgeting, you realize that you spend over 200 bucks on fast food. And whenever you realize that, it increases your motivation to cut out fast food and save as much money as possible. So I used to budget by using an Excel sheet. I would just put my anticipated income and expenses in one column. Now, some of those expenses, like utilities that are required but vary, I kind of overestimate just to be a little safe. But for expenses like food or entertainment that vary but aren't required, those I underestimate and try and set a goal to get under so that I can maximize how much I'm saving. And I would generally update this about every week so I could get a picture as I go throughout the month. But you don't even have to update it every week. And you can do that by going to mint.com or using their app, which will allow you to connect your bank accounts to the Mint account, where it will keep track of how much you spend, how much you make, and you can actually set goals on there. And whenever you go over those goal amounts, it will alert you so that you will know to limit your spending in those areas. And it actually also provides information on opportunities on good deals with credit cards and with extra interest on certain saving accounts with different banks. And lastly, it actually shows you your credit score, or at least one of your credit scores, and that is just generally helpful to know in life. Tip number 2 is automation. Now, most billing services have a setting where you can set it to automate a payment to a specific day each month. But you also want to do this with your savings, right? So you can set an automatic transfer from your checking account to your savings each and every month. Now, I used to do something similar where at the end of the month, I would transfer all of my extra money from my checking to my savings or to my investment accounts. This would generally kind of vary, but I just wanted to try and maximize it as much as possible. But for you, I would recommend doing automation first, just because whenever you automate it, then you don't have to actually think about saving money. But whenever you actually go in and save money, then you have to go through the entire process of transferring it from one to another. And then there's a lot more time where you can consider not saving money and procrastinate on it, right? But whenever you automate it, then you don't have to even think about it, and you have to actually put in work to cancel the automation. So it makes committing to saving money a whole lot easier. Tip number 3 is to set goals. Now, setting goals is important in so many areas of life, right? But it's particularly important whenever it comes to the aspect of saving money. And that's because if you just start saving money and you don't have a goal to achieve, then there would be hardly any motivation to actually saving that money, right? But whenever you set a goal, that helps establish your motivation for achieving that goal. So an app that you can use to achieve this is Capital. And firstly, in there, you can set goals, right? But you can also accompany that with a picture. And this can help serve to increase your motivation. So if you want to travel, then you can put a picture from wherever you want to travel. And if you want to buy a nice car, then you can put a picture of that car right next to your goal, right? That'll help increase your motivation to save money. Now, you can do the automation and automate regular payments to the Capital account, which I would recommend. But it also has a cool feature where it rounds up the next $1, $2, or the next $3. It rounds up however much you want it to with each and every payment that you make on your connected bank account. So this helps decrease the motivation for just going out and spending money. But even if you do spend money, then it's a win-win, because either you transfer because you're spending money, or you save more money because you're not spending money. So if you're interested in the Capital app, then I'll have a link in the description below. Tip number 4 is to use the envelope method, where you actually go and get a bunch of envelopes and then you withdraw cash from your account, and then you write the names of specific categories that you spend, and then you limit yourself by how much you spend depending on how much you put in the envelopes. So this physically limits how much you can actually spend on those certain categories. But it also has another aspect of it, because research has shown that people are much more willing to spend money whenever they're using a credit card or a debit card, because there isn't a connection between them actually swiping the card and them having to give over the money like there is with using cash. So this technique is super beneficial for someone that is pretty bad about using their credit card or their debit card whenever it comes to spending. Following the topic of credit cards, tip number 5 is don't spend what you don't have. So what I do is whenever I use my credit card, I only use it whenever I can immediately pay it off. Now, I don't necessarily immediately pay it off. I generally do that towards the end of the month, but I just want to make sure that I can pay it off at the end of the month, because I want to prevent any interest from building up on that credit card account. Because whenever you're saving money, that will continually increase because you're putting money towards it, right? But if you have money that you owe on your credit card, that will continually build interest whether you're spending money or not, right? So you want to make sure that you limit that as much as possible, especially if you already have a bunch of credit card debt built up. I would recommend that you pay that off first and then start saving, because if you're putting more money towards interest, then that's less money later on that you can actually put towards your savings. Now here's a bonus tip for you, and that is to get help from others. So if you're a college student, then this is actually pretty easy, because a lot of them have student financial services that you can go to where they can help you establish a budget, and they can point out a bunch of different resources that will help you save money. But if you're not in college, then you can't get to these types of services. But that's okay, because my favorite way to get help from others is by actually making a competition out of it with your friends. Now, this does two things. Firstly, it increases your motivation to not spend money, because obviously you want to beat your friend in any sort of competition. But it also decreases the amount of motivation that your friends will have towards spending money. And a lot of people struggle with going out and spending money instead of saving, because their friends are like, hey, you want to go and get a drink? Or hey, do you want to go to the movies? And those sorts of things. But whenever you have your friends working towards saving money as well, that will decrease that, which will help increase how much you're saving. So this technique is just super beneficial, and I would highly recommend it. Those are all the tips that I have for you today. And remember, if you're interested in the second video where I teach you how to get rich, I'll be uploading that next week, so make sure to check it out. And please comment the one thing that you learned from this video that you will apply to your life. And if there is a savings tip that I did not mention that you really like, then please comment that below as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day.